Game Crunch, your weekly video game podcast. My name is Mike Anastasia. With me today we have Nick.
Heyo.
And Brandon.
Hello.
We're here to talk about games and things.
Games and things.
Things and games. Well, we got new this week, TMNT.
Yep.
Does it have a subtitle?
Yeah, it's Shredder's Revenge.
Okay.
I just didn't feel like writing it. I didn't care.
I also
didn't want to make sure you're playing the NES game, you know?
I mean, it's fine.
No, that game is Satan. Like, nobody wants to play that game.
Wait, are we talking about the same NES game? There were two of them. There's the arcade port from, like, the arcade.
That was TMNT2.
No, it wasn't. It's just TMNT.
It was TMNT2.
No. Hold on. I'm gonna check. So I'm pretty sure that's not true.
Accept your apology whenever you're ready.
Yeah, it's just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Wait, hold on. What the fuck?
The arcade game was 2.
Is there a 2? I've never seen that there was a 2. Wait, I'm gonna go check NES price charting, which then now links me to just price charting. Let's go there. Go.
Secret of the Ooze?
No.
Oh, that was the movie.
That was a movie?
That was a movie.
What was it with, like, early 90s cartoons and Ooze?
Yeah, there was a lot of Ooze back in the day, wasn't there?
Yeah, TMNT Ooze.
Oh
Ivan.
my god,
movie?
I never noticed there was a 2 there. Holy shit.
Ivan Ooze.
I owned this and didn't notice there was a 2 there.
Who didn't?
Alright, you're right. I'm sorry, Mike. You're right.
Tubby Tustard is Ooze. What's it? Oh yeah, there's a 2 there. It says TMNT2.
Yeah, I see that.
The arcade game.
$36.95 for a full boxed complete version of the game. I want that.
Yeah.
Not a terrible price. The arcade game was not bad. It's just
The arcade game is one of my
original
favorite games.
The
But no, I know
original
what you're talking about now. You're talking about the platformer adventure game that has the overworld and everything.
Yes,
I know what
that
you're talking
game is
about now.
Satan.
You're right. That one is awful. I did not like that game at all. I was getting the 2 confused because I thought I didn't know that was a 2. Like, holy shit.
So it was green?
What?
I think TMNT3 was that Super Nintendo game, right?
No, so that's Turtles in Time. 3 is Manhattan Project, which I don't remember if I've played. I'm gonna double check. I have not played Manhattan Project, but it kind of looks like the original TMNT. It's all right.
Oh, it was still NES. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, it's NES. This one's very rare from the looks of it. Like very rare.
So 4 was Turtles in Time.
4 is Turtles in Time, yeah.
Okay.
That's
That
a
one
great
was good
game.
too.
I
Yeah.
like both of those. I like both the arcade games.
But no, TMNT, original one, Satan's asshole. That's what that game is. I watched a quick play of someone playing through it.
The old one?
Yeah, like the Satan one.
Mm-hmm.
Within the last couple months, just because I was like, I've never beat this game. How do you actually do it? And I figured like watching someone do that would probably be the best way. And it was like, oh yeah, you just do this and this and this. And he made it look so much easier than it probably actually is.
Mm-hmm.
It taught me lots of tricks for a game I will never, ever, 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 ever play again.
I see.
Because it's horrible. But anyways, I'm guessing the new one is not.
No.
It is not.
It is not horrible. Which is to say that it's good.
It's very good.
Yes.
Oh, no, I would say it's very good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very
Not
good. It's got
overwhelmingly positive,
turtles
but
in
it is very good.
How many oozes would you give it?
Like a 4 out of 5.
Out of 5 oozes?
Yeah, 4 out of 5 oozes.
I'll give it 4.5 out of 5 oozes.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay.
it's not the ooziest, but
You were not wrong, by the way.
I'm not wrong.
Yeah, the fucking soundtrack of this game slaps, and I'm putting in the best soundtrack of this year when we get to it.
I'm glad you said that because this is easily on the list for best soundtrack this year.
Easy.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Mike, did you play Sonic Mania at all?
No.
Okay.
I remember the music being decent on that though.
So the guy who did the music for Sonic Mania, T. Lopez, did the music for TMNT Shredder's Revenge. Every song is great.
Yeah,
They're all fucking great.
I
They're all
completely agree. Yeah.
I'm gonna pick a random song. Let's see.
I'm gonna
I'll pick the
be
menu
honest.
song.
One of my favorites is Mutants Over Broadway.
News
That
Over
song's
Broadway
so
is
good.
good. Rumble in the Zoo is good.
Yeah.
Even like the first level just bops.
Do you know Mega Ran is on the soundtrack?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, his song's really good too.
This
And
song is very
huh?
good so far. I picked Crisis at Coney Island, and
Nice.
it sounds like a Sonic song.
It does. There definitely is some. I don't wanna
What
put
did
that
you
same.
think of the Wu-Tang song?
There, like I said, you can't go wrong.
What did you think of the Wu-Tang song? That's my
It's a
question.
fucking amazing. What do you mean? What do I
I
think about the Wu
agree. I
Tang?
agree. It was.
Um,
It was fucking great.
I was when I first heard, it, I was like, "Wait a fucking minute." I
Mhm.
was like, "Are we really doing this?" But yeah, no, it's great.
Mutants Over Broadway, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a great game. All right, how you've played it all the way through? I take it because it only takes like 2 hours to finish, right?
Yeah, it's short. It's short.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
short game.
Okay. So I streamed this game
Okay.
for how long do you think I streamed this game for?
20 hours.
Not bad, not a bad guess, but the correct answer was 10 hours.
I was gonna
Oh.
say 10.
10 hours is good. Yeah. So my buddy and I played through story mode as the first playthrough with two other friends. And it was great. We had a lot of fun. We didn't go for all the collectibles. Then we played arcade mode and finished it on 1 credit, which is an achievement.
Okay.
Then we went back to story mode because someone else wanted to play. So we started over story mode. And then like 5 stages into it, the person we were playing with was like, "Yo guys, I gotta go." And I'm like, "I just deleted all of my story mode progress to play with you. And your bitch ass is like flaking on me after 5 stages." Dude, what the fuck? So that happened. So then we went back to story mode and we redid the entire thing, getting every single collectible.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So, needless to say, I like this game quite a lot.
It's very good.
It's
Yeah,
very, very good.
I
Yeah, music's great.
Did you notice all of the attacks that April have are based off of Street Fighter characters?
I did. Did you
Yes.
notice that Mikey's thing, Michelangelo's thing to get his special back, because everyone does a taunt and their taunt allows them to get back some of their special? It's the dance move he does in the 1987 cartoon.
It is. Yes, it
It's
is.
in the opening theme, and it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, it has the game itself has a lot of personality. It's like longtime fans of like the TMNT series are just gonna shit their pants while playing it because there's a lot of things
Honestly,
that kind
yeah.
of harken back to like a lot of the older games, the shows, everything like that.
Mhm.
I love it so much, and I was upset too because originally I didn't realize it was going to be on Game Pass. So my friend was like, "Hey, I'm gonna buy it physical. You want to get it for me physical?" I was like, "Okay, cool, yeah, no problem." And then I saw it on Game Pass. I was like, "Let's fucking get it."
Mhm. Yeah, so the really cool thing I think about this game, like you were saying, is like there's just so many references to TMNT things from
Mhm.
all the past things in this game, and it was so great. Like, there's an arcade stage where you fight the two like characters that are like movie specific
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles characters, like the live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. They were only ever in that, and you actually fight them in one of these stages. And when we saw that, we were like, "That's so fucking cool." So, I'm actually a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. Not like I eat, sleep, and breathe it, but when I was a kid, that was what I grew up with, and I still have the DVDs somewhere of them. So yeah. But yeah, this game's excellent. That's all there is to it. It's so good. The music, the gameplay, the online feels very, very stable when playing online. It was awesome. And I had no issues whatsoever with this game. It's just awesome.
I agree. It's very, very good. I haven't tried it online at all yet. I've just kind of been playing
So I had
locally.
251 ping, and it felt like I was playing locally.
That's really good.
That's not bad at all.
It was insane. Like, I was connected to someone in Chicago, my friend in Chicago, and we were playing. And then we were connected with someone in PA, and then their girlfriend who was on a completely different console. So like we were like on 3 different systems, and it was totally fine. Like there was no issue whatsoever. So I'm very impressed. I think this is a great game. I think the price is quite a bit for what there is here.
Yeah.
But doing everything, I was able to get like 10 hours out of it. And 10 hours for a $25 game, it's not that bad. Not that bad at all.
That's
Oh, yeah,
So-
not bad.
But if you do just like one playthrough, you're only going to get like 2 to 3 hours, maybe 4, if you're not very good, max, out of this game. So, yeah. But it's excellent. Like, every bit of it that we played, like, there wasn't a point in time where I was like, I don't want to play this anymore. We were going to play 2 games for streaming, and we only ended up playing this one.
Okay.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, I'd leveled Donatello up to max, because when you're playing the story mode, they are level based, and you can level them up kind of like with the Scott Pilgrim game in a way. And I leveled Donatello up to max, and then I also leveled Splinter up to max, and then I started working on April O'Neil when I was going through my like 3rd playthrough. So yeah, and they all have like little attribute stars, like the speed, damage, special. Dude, Splinter's special attack is absolutely insane. I was playing on the next to hardest like difficulty, just which I guess is just like the medium difficulty. And the enemy would, like, it was a boss fight, and I would use the B button, which when you press B, it's like a backwards dodge, that sort of deal. So I pressed that, and when I did that and then activated his special, like a bunch of hands came out of the sky and basically like did a whole bunch of punching, that sort of deal, and that was his special. And when I did that, I swear to you, I took off like between half of the boss's bar and 1/3 of the boss's bar, depending on how far into the game I was. It was insane, and I was just like, damn.
Damn, boy.
Like Donatello, when he does his emote, he pulls out a Game Boy and starts playing
does.
it. It's just a lot of character with the game, and it's really good.
Yeah,
So,
it's very good. Can recommend. Give it a try.
Absolutely.
Sounds great. I'm probably more on the boat where I probably would only play through it once, so I'd probably wait for a little.
Yeah.
You can play it on Game Pass if you have Game Pass.
I don't.
So.
Have to.
Oh wow.
That's a shame. What are you doing not having Game Pass? It's $1 right now for 3 months.
That is a really good deal.
Yeah.
Very good deal. It's $1 a month.
Yeah.
$1
Yeah, you can't really go wrong.
per month.
Yeah, that's what I ended up doing. I subscribed for 3 months for $1, and I was like, all right, cool. Because it wasn't just like new people get to subscribe. It was like, yo, you ever had Game Pass? I don't give a fuck. Give me $1. All right, cool. Play it some more. I was like, oh, okay.
Shit. Okay.
So did you have to let yours lapse to do it, or does it just add on time?
So mine had already lapsed a week beforehand.
Mhm.
So there was that. But yeah, that's why I was able to do it.
Well, it's perfect time.
Good time to do it.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know unless you guys have anything else to say on TMNT.
Now just play it. It's got an excellent soundtrack, and it's a lot of fun to play. It's probably the best beat 'em up game I've played since Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Easily.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, definitely agree with that.
It's made me want to play more beat 'em ups though.
Mhm.
So
Not a
my
bad
plan is to pick up River City Girls if it goes on sale, and then also when it releases, I want to get River City Girls 0,
Ooh.
which is a remaster as well as the first time River City Girls from Japan is released outside of Japan or something like that. I don't know exactly, but anyway, it looks good. Looks really good, and I want to play those 2 games. And I mean, one of them Steam Deck verified, so you can't really go wrong, you know.
You cannot.
I'm also interested in the Cowabunga collection, but we don't know when that's fucking coming out, so it's
What
just
is
like,
it
all
called?
right. It's the arcade games of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It is.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, all in one collection for $40. So it's like the NES, the original arcade, the Manhattan Project one, the Super Nintendo, the original arcade version instead of the Super Nintendo. Essentially, it's like the Contra thing. I think they even have the ones that were on Game Boy and shit as well, and Sega Genesis. So Yeah.
but not
Oh,
the
and they also have
scary.
tournament fighters on there as well for the meme, I think.
Okay.
I mean, it looks pretty good. I mean, it's Turtles, so you
Definitely
can't
Turtles.
really go wrong. I mean, I don't want to give Konami money, but I'm sure I can buy it secondhand somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at it, it does not appear to have the shitty Turtles game.
Oh no, it does. I found it.
Oh,
Oh,
it does?
Yep. Here's what it includes:
Oh,
Teenage
you're
Mutant
right.
Ninja
I do
Turtle
see it now. It
Arcade,
just showed up.
Turtles in Time, the shitty NES one,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, which was the NES, then
Mm-hmm.
Manhattan Project NES, Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters NES, Turtles in Time for Super Nintendo, uh, Tournament Fighters Super Nintendo, Hyperstone Heist for Genesis, Tournament Fighters for Genesis. Oh, Follow the Foot Clan for Game Boy. That's what you're just talking about. Back from the Sewers for Game Boy, and then Radical Rescue for Game Boy. That sounds like a pretty good package.
Yeah, it seems like it would be pretty decent.
Fuck, that means I'm gonna play that shitty ass Turtles game again. You
You can skip
asshole.
that one, play all the rest.
Yeah, but now I have to. If
Oh,
I could
okay.
buy it, now I'm gonna have to do it just to be like, oh, I played it again. It still sucks.
Hey,
Maybe I'll try to.
maybe that's just what you need to do. Just be like, yeah, I played
Hey.
it again. It's still fucking trash. All
Might
right,
I've
be.
bye.
never gotten past that third area where you have like the
The
what is
kelp,
the
the
turtle
seaweed.
band called? No, I've gotten past the seaweed.
Okay.
It sucks. I've gotten
Yeah.
past it,
Okay.
but I've never gotten past the part where you have like the van.
Uh, I don't remember.
Yeah, neither do I. I don't. That's the part after the seaweed, like directly after the seaweed. That's when that's the part that I'm like I don't know where to go because you got the whole. That's when the whole city opens up,
Mm-hmm.
and then I don't know what to do at that point.
I see.
Yeah. Anyways, you guys ready to move on?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, Nick, I'm throwing it to you because you have the next most recent thing.
I
You
do.
weren't able to talk about it last week.
I didn't. I couldn't.
Yeah, tell us all about it.
I bought Super Mario Strikers.
Okay.
Battle
No.
League.
Mm-hmm.
Battle League.
Yeah.
It's very okay.
Oh, okay.
It's very okay. I got it $10 off because I went to Target to buy it, and I had like $10 at Target, so I was like, all right, fuck it. I've been having a lot of fun playing it online with my friends, because you can obviously have your own football club in it. And doing that's been cool and fun.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, if there's solo cups you can do, so kind of like, I don't want to compare it to like Mario Kart, but like how you have just the races that you go through per cup in Mario Kart, you have a six, I think it's 6 or 8, I forget how many teams it is. It's like a small tournament style bracket, and then you just play basically 3 matches, and if you win all 3, you win the cup. There's no variety whatsoever to each cup. Like, it has like different style cups where it's like, hey, this is this cup and this is this cup, but like literally it's just the same thing over and over again. And like, whereas you might be thinking to yourself, oh yeah, but Mario Kart's the same thing. The difference with Mario Kart is each cup at least has like different maps and like different things to do. Whereas in this game, it's literally just like the 4 or 5 like combinations of fields you can make. So it gets pretty boring pretty quick. So I haven't played much of the single player just because like maybe playing through one cup kind of satiates me for that little bit of time, because then I'm just like, all right, well, that was about 15 minutes. I guess I'm good. But like I said, playing online with my friends is more fun because I'm playing a game online with friends. But other than that, like, just kind of going into it, there's not a lot of things to keep me there for the time being. So, I don't know.
Okay.
It just, again, it feels like another one of those Nintendo games that have come out with in recent years where just not a lot of content has been put into it.
Such a shame. I
Yeah.
feel like that's just how I'm gonna have to look at the Nintendo sports titles going forward, because they used to be really good, but it seems like they just release bare minimum content and then treat them like games as a service game.
The unfortunate thing, right, and I might be, might not be remembering this correctly, but I remember at least when Mario Tennis Aces came out, there was more of a variety to that. There was more characters in that. that like there was things too that keep you coming back because they were kind of like they promised that they were drip feeding characters over the next couple of months or whatever the fuck it was.
Who knows? Maybe the direct next week will like announce that.
No,
Yeah.
the yeah, that direct. So that's my thing is like, it seems very stripped down in terms of just who they put into the game. Because I remember like back in the day, you'd get like a Mario Tennis game or Mario Golf game. There's like thousands of characters. It felt like, whereas with this, I think it's maybe 10, maybe, and
Yeah, I
like
think it's
there's like some glaring
They're just going
omissions.
backwards to the N64 days.
Pretty much, yeah. But there's like some glaring omissions. Like obviously, like Daisy's not in it, which is pretty shitty.
What?
Yeah, Daisy's not in it.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Daisy.
Shy Guy isn't in it.
Okay.
Um,
Dry Bones?
who else? Nope,
The fuck?
Toad's there.
no dry bones. You basically get Mario, Luigi, Peach, Rosalina, Donkey Kong, Bowser, Toad, Waluigi, and Wario. I think that's everybody. Yeah, that's everybody. Oh, Yoshi too. I forgot Yoshi. That's all. That's a full roster. I can remember it off the top of my head.
There's a
So
theory that Shy Guy is coming soon because his voice actor is credited in the game, but there's nowhere where Shy Guy does voice anything.
yeah, I mean, it also like Shy Guy's voice is just like wow. So like, what's the you know what I mean? Like,
But I mean, if you got the person who specifically records it is credited, they're not.
but like
there.
it could have been me because I sounded pretty close to it. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they could have pulled anybody into the room like, hey, can you make the Shy Guy wow sound for me? Like, yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Just,
Wow.
cool. Now act like you got hit.
Wow.
So I don't know. It's disappointing in some aspects and kind of to be expected, unfortunately, in some other aspects from Nintendo nowadays, because that's just kind of the thing that they're putting out. It's fun playing with my friends, but I would go to say that if I'm not playing it with my friends, I'm probably not putting it in my Switch, because otherwise it's just like boring. And I have other things I could be playing. Actually, I bought another game last week because I don't think we talked about it on the podcast, but they announced Dragon's Dogma 2 last week.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The original Dragon's Dogma was on sale for $5
Okay.
on PlayStation. So I was like, all right, you know what, $5. This game's kind of been on my radar since it came out. I'll give it a shot. It's got to be good enough to get a second one, right? So
Did you try it yet?
No, I didn't try it yet.
From my experience, when I worked at GameStop and talked to people about it, it's a game that people either love or hate. There's like nowhere in between in that game.
Yeah, I feel like that's about right.
I mean, I figured for $5 it's worth the risk. $5 is pretty.
So Dragon's Dogma, right? What I remember is it's like a mixture of a Souls-like and Monster Hunter.
Okay.
But before Souls-like was a thing. So it's not difficult, it's just got a lot of really weird choices that it made that make it like feel like it's how like Souls games, like when they first started out, and maybe you don't, but I think you might. They felt very like weighty, but they also kind of felt amateurish. Like I'm not really sure about this, that sort of. Yeah, that's how Dragon's Dogma feels the entire way through, except it was made by Capcom.
Well, that's reassuring, very reassuring. So I'm gonna be giving that a try. But yeah, so other than most of those,
I like the climbing mechanics, because like you can like jump onto enemies and then be like, I'm climbing you like you're a fucking Shadow of the Colossus, and I'm gonna stab you in the fucking face.
That's pretty cool.
But like, yeah, that's like the cool parts of the game.
Yeah. But yeah, so if you were thinking about, I don't think either of you were, but if you were thinking about getting Mario Strikers Battle League, I'd wait.
I
I'd definitely wait.
I wasn't thinking
Yeah,
about
like
it.
That's the sports games I would only do if they're like 30 or less. Is where I feel like
that's fair. And honestly, what makes me upset about this too is it was made by the people who made Luigi's Mansion 3, and I thought Luigi's Mansion 3 was pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Maybe just Nintendo's having some kind of interference with these
Well,
sports games, and they're like, these are our games as a
I'm
service games.
I'm curious as to whether or not this was from Next Level Games all the way through.
Hmm.
Because I will say in some aspects, like when I'm touring through like the menus where I'm waiting on something to load,
Hmm.
it definitely has, I want to say, a mobile feel to it.
That is what everyone has said. It feels like a mobile game in some
Like it
aspects.
feels like a mobile game. They might have done some palette swapping and some like asset changing to make it look like more of a full console release.
Hmm.
And this is kind of what we got. But like looking at it, and even looking at like how the game plays, like with like 'cause you can control multiple players on the field by switching like really quick. It just feels like to me possibly that the game would have felt a little bit more intuitive with
Hmm.
touch controls. And like even like the indicators for things on the screen to me feel like they'd be more intuitive with touch controls rather than a controller.
I see. I see.
So
Yeah, I can see that.
it feels like that to me. That's the feeling I get.
Or who knows? Maybe they had some wild thing where it's like they wanted a control style where you play just straight on the touch screen of the Switch itself. Who
I mean,
knows?
maybe,
Their
but
games go through like what was it they were talking about? Something that was theirs that went through just wild changes from start to
oh,
finish. Or is it retro? One
the
of
retro
them. One of them
spin.
I just saw an interview where they were talking about like this is where we started and then like as they kept going, like things kept on getting changed and changed and changed until it turned into something wildly different.
Okay.
Um, so I mean, it does happen. I mean, who knows?
Yeah,
The other thing is too, I don't know how big Next Level Games is anymore either. So it's like, are they big enough that like this is like their B team, and they're just like, hey, we're just gonna stick a handful of people on this to make a quick little sports title while we work on I don't know Luigi's Mansion 4 or whatever.
that's true. Let
So
me just see real quick their Wikipedia. Oh no,
You
what?
just click their Wikipedia, and it's like, we're not trying anymore. And that's all it says.
this is the same people who made Federation Force.
Oh yeah, they did make Federation
I realize
Force.
they made Federation Force. It's weird because they have a very like touch and go history because they made Strikers, the original Strikers,
Yeah,
Hmm.
and they did
and
Punch Out for
Strikers
the Wii,
Charge.
and that was
Yeah.
excellent. And then Dark
Um,
Moon fucking sucked, but
Dark
Luigi's
Moon was
Mansion 3 was
trash.
great.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
Federation Force got shit on a lot, but that was not a horrible.
it's a turd.
They
It's a turd.
did some neat
Um,
stuff with it, but yeah, I mean, I understand why people don't like it.
I think I said it before, but Dark Moon was actually my first Luigi's Mansion. I still haven't played the GameCube Luigi's Mansion. um, but it's like I said, it's okay. I guess it's fun if you get a chance to play it with friends. Like if one of your friends is like, "Hey, I'm gonna bring over the soccer game," like, "Get away from me, loser!" Like, no, it's Mario Soccer. You're like, yeah, whatever. Um, give it a shot. But like as of right now, in its current state, it feels lifeless and uninspired. So yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Other than that, though, I haven't played anything else. I got a booster box for the new Pokemon Astral, whatever the fuck it is, and opened a bunch of booster packs over the weekend. That's always fun.
How'd that go?
Good. I got some special rares.
Hmm.
My girlfriend got some good ones too.
Okay.
So that was pretty fun. I like doing that. But yep, that's all I've got for things done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brandon, what's Final Fantasy VII Intergrade?
It's the Final Fantasy VII remake game, but on PC.
Tis. Oh, that's right. It did come out for PC.
It did, and I have it. Yeah, I've been playing it on Steam Deck, so this is just my weekly Steam Deck talk real quick. So I downloaded Final Fantasy VII Integrate after purchasing it, because you have to do that first. So I purchased Final Fantasy VII Integrate, and I mean, I got a decent chunk of the way through it on PS5. 4, not 5, sorry. And then it released on PS5, and I didn't continue it, so whatever. But I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna start over because it's been so long and whatnot. Let me just say, this game was advertised on Thursday before it released on Friday as being like developed with the Steam Deck in mind,
Mm-hmm.
and it sure as fuck is. This thing runs beautifully on the Steam Deck. Granted, I can't get like a constant 60 FPS, but I'm getting over 30 FPS on a handheld system, and the
Okay.
graphics look like a PS4, and that's a pretty solid win in my book.
How about to say I'll take that.
Yeah. So normally I get between, depending on the area, 30 and 60. Most of the time hovering around like the 45, 50-ish range. So not terrible, not that 60 FPS locked, but I am running this on high settings for, the settings that are there. I'm running everything as it can be ran. And I mean, it looks great. It plays great. And I mean, it's just a lot of fun. So I've been chilling and playing that. Granted, this is a big game. This is a graphically, strong game. So if I were to play this off the charger, I do only get between an hour and 45 to like 2 hours worth. If I do some tweaking, more often than not, it's like an hour 30. Which, I mean, okay, if I just want to chill in a living room for like an hour and play like this or in bed, okay, cool, whatever. And then I just go drop it on this charger and then come back later. And I kind of think that's really impressive for having this on a handheld. I don't know where you would stand on that, because it is a handheld. You should be able to have more time, but it is also like I'm essentially playing a PlayStation 4 game on the go. So like when it comes to how long I can play it, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that, but I think that's a pretty decent amount of time for something like that new and that graphically intensive. So, yeah. I mean, hell, there's been some games I played on the Switch that don't last that long, such as like Doom 2016, and it don't look good at all on the Switch. So, like, I'm kind of like looking at it that way, more or less. Plus, I mean, it's Final Fantasy VII Remake. And the reason why it's called Integrate, Mike, is because it also has the DLC that's an in-betweener that will lead into the sequel that comes out next year.
Okay.
So it comes with
Next
the
winter?
DLC. Yeah.
Whenever that may be.
It's next winter.
But
Next
like
winter.
the next upcoming winter, or
That's upcoming winter, not next winter.
the
Next winter.
next winter is the winter that's next.
No, it's saying next winter as in the winter that comes after this
He gets
one.
it. This guy gets it.
No, you
See?
don't. You really don't.
Next winter.
Yeah, the next winter.
The next time winter's here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't say next winter for this winter. I say this winter, which
Yeah.
they
It's not
said
winter rated.
for the
It's
other
summer.
game, which said this winter.
Yeah. But like the next winter coming.
Yeah, and that's for
The next winter is
Crisis
coming. Don't you
Core.
remember Game of Thrones?
Oh yeah, Crisis Core.
Crisis Core comes out this winter, not next winter.
Yeah.
So
Well, next thing you know, they'll be like that winter.
yeah.
Mhm.
Listen, winter hasn't hit, right? So if I
Winter
say
is coming, Brandon.
if I say this winter,
Yeah.
I mean the winter that's coming up in the foreseeable future. If
Yeah,
I say
but-
next winter, I mean
Could
the
be the
winter that
upcoming
comes
winter.
after that. If I
But I will say,
Yeah.
this winter could be from December 21st to the 31st.
Yeah.
Next winter, it's anytime after that. It's the next winter is next year's winter.
Yeah,
Next winter.
yeah.
That's all
And
I'm
this
saying.
winter could even be anywhere from like December until March.
That's
Like,
also
maybe-
true.
And what's weird is like if you live in Australia, it's winter now.
That's true. Today's the first
So
day of
like
winter
when
in
they say
Australia.
this winter, like are they getting fucking Crisis Core next week?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good question. You gotta go ask the Australians.
Yeah.
but doing that
All
was
I'm
probably
saying.
like $170. So they're probably like, no, thank you.
And then, like next winter would be
Next
like-
winter will be when they can afford it.
that's all I'm saying.
That's when the Steam sale will hit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So anyway, back to Integrate. Like I said, this game runs very, very well. I haven't dropped below 30 FPS while playing it, which that's a win in my book.
Yeah, I think it's
Hour and 30 without tweaking, playing on high settings, playing Final Fantasy VII Remake on a handheld. That's a win in my book. And it's very fun. I liked the original when I played it. The combat aspect of it. I know the story is a convoluted mess, which now that I see they're actually continuing it, Nick, I'm not gonna lie, I'm in for this train wreck. I want to see what happens.
That's fair. That's a fair attitude.
I want to see what happens. It's kind of like Kingdom Hearts at this point. I want to see what they're going to do. Like, I may not necessarily care about the story and may think the gameplay is actually really good, because I think the gameplay in Kingdom Hearts games are really good. Just like I think the gameplay in Final Fantasy VII Remake is actually very good. But a little bit of me is like, I want to see what that story do.
What that story do?
Not because I'm engrossed in the story, much as it is because I just want to know what they're going to do. Because I swear to God, I swear, Nick, I don't know if you watched the trailer for Part 2 of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm pretty sure I heard Eris talking to them from beyond the grave about bringing her back to life.
Hell yeah, rebirth, baby.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's called Rebirth! And
Hell yeah.
Hold on. Are they actually just gonna let us give that bitch a Phoenix down? Like, what the fuck?
I mean, that's probably what everyone was thinking at the time. We're like, just give her fucking Phoenix down, lazy bitch. Why are you letting her die?
So I'm genuinely interested in finding out where they deviate from the original story here, because I mean they've already deviated quite a bit. So
if they let you bring Eris back, how many oozes would you give this game?
How many oozes?
oh man.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's like a double-sided sword, because on the one side, it's like it makes it a less impactful moment in like the gaming sphere, but on the other side, I kind of would be like, you know what? I respect it that they gave so little a fuck that they ruined a moment they created like fucking 40 years ago by the time this game releases.
Okay, well, hey, Sakaguchi's long gone from that company, and you know, if they let her come back to life, he's gonna be like, "Oh my fucking god, I hate this company so much." It was like, that was my masterpiece, and you just ruined it.
It's funny because it's like in like moments like that in Final Fantasy VII, like when Aerith dies, like any game that has in its mechanic to actively raise a party member from the dead just kind of takes me out of it. Like when she's in your party and you're playing Final Fantasy VII, you're like, "Oh no, Aerith, you died." Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. And I'd be curious to see how they handle that, if they handle that, right?
Like, that happened to me, I think it was like Borderlands 2, where like somebody died, like story-wise, and I'm like, I died like 30 times just coming here, and I came back.
That is really true.
So, kind of silly.
But I'm excited. I can't wait to see what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
And it made me pick up this game. And like I said, this is a really good game for, just kind of. This is a game for like just chilling on the couch and grinding some levels, and then not, and then I'm done. I really haven't got much to say about it. It's just a game.
Game?
Yeah.
Do you like it more now?
So that's the thing. I find myself playing a lot more games because of the fact that I can just take them anywhere. So yeah, I would like take time out of my week, most of the time during like stream time, to play like long games or games that I want to play for a long time. But but now I can just kind of like pick it up and take it in my bedroom and like play it until I fall asleep in bed, that sort of thing. And I really dig that element of the Steam Deck. I think that's going to make it so I play a lot more games more often, because honestly, unless it's been a big release lately, I just haven't really cared to play things that weren't things I've already been playing. Like, I was in my own little comfortable spot where it's like, I'll play CSGO, I'll play Fortnite, I'll check out something on Game Pass, and I'm good. That's it, essentially. But yeah.
Amber Heard, you did not answer my question.
Oh, wait, what was the question?
My question
Do I like it more?
Do you like this game more? I know you like your Steam Deck. I'm asking you
Well, no,
about
no,
this.
that was what I was trying to answer. I was trying to answer the fact that like I have more appreciation for like playing games in general now. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I do like it more. I got to go further than I did when I originally played it because I'm just like going back through the moments I've already gone through right now. But I do enjoy my time with it more because I'm not just sitting in front of a TV the whole time. I can like just chill and like lay in bed and whatnot, that sort of thing.
You're like, I use chill with my Steam Deck synonymously with like this game.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I mean, whatever. I mean,
No, I'm just teasing. I mean, it sounds like you're having a better time with it because I'm pretty sure when you played it last time, you just absolutely despised this game, if I remember.
when I played it on PS4, I was just like, uh, it's it's a game. And then when I played it on PS5, I was like, okay, well, this is a game that feels better now because like it's at a higher frame rate and
Hmm.
like it doesn't feel as sluggish. But now I'm kind of like, all right, well, now I'm not sitting in front of a TV, and it may not be as high a frame rate as the PlayStation 5, obviously, but I can take this on the go with me, and as such, I'm having a more enjoyable time, and that's where I'm at with it.
I don't think that's fair. I mean, I think there are games that I have on like the Switch, for example, that are things that like I wouldn't necessarily enjoy if I had to sit in front of the TV to play all the time.
I would
But
much rather play something like No More Heroes or indie title or something that's going to be a very long game while sitting in the hospital or sitting in the doctor's office and whatnot. And I think being able to do that now makes me actually appreciate those games a lot more. Like I already love No More Heroes, but being able to I started playing No More Heroes 3 again.
did
Um
you ever finish it?
no. So that's why I said I started playing it again. I even started
No.
streaming it a few weeks back. So there's that.
Well, I hope you finally finish it this time because you missed some good stuff.
I know I did. I really do. And I've been playing that off and on when I've been out. And I also have been streaming it when it's just like single streams with just me instead of having someone playing along with me. So there's that.
Very nice. Is that all you got?
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
All right.
Other than that, I'm exhausted, but you already know that story.
No, I know. All right, well, I'll start talking off with Fire Emblem Warrior Three Hopes. Fire Emblem Warriors Three Hope. I think it's
Mhm.
a. I don't know. Three Hope. Yeah, it's
Three
got to be
hoops.
that. Three Hoops. Um, I guess it's a prelude to next week. So it actually officially comes out on Friday. The review embargo just lifted today, and they've been coming through about what you would expect for a Muso game. Getting like 80s, so not surprising there. But so my update since last time I talked about the demo. When I played the demo originally, I was just like, oh yeah, it's definitely a Muso game, and it feels like what you would
Mhm.
expect. But then I finished the first level because it gives you a good chunk, like a lot. It's a lot more in the demo than I expected because it actually lets you get to the branching point and like where you're like, which house do you want to join? And you're like, oh, and then you get to play like the first kind of set of missions for those. So you get all that stuff, but it has so much shit from you both played Three Houses, right?
Yes.
Yup.
So it has so much shit from Three Houses in there that I was not expecting. Where it's like, hey, you go back to the monastery, and then like in between missions, you're at the camp, and you can go and talk to people, and then it will let you do things like, hey, do you want to have meals with these people? Well, if you have these ingredients, you can cook these dishes for them, or you can train with them, or whatever. And then there's like these side missions that you do in between the story missions, where you can go and get like extra money or experience or whatever. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on in this game. Like, it's so much deeper than I'd expected. And even going into the missions too, they got the like the weapon advantages and disadvantages back. Like the houses have all the members from the house there. So even though you only bring like four people into a mission, like you have them there, you can assign some as like uh, basically like non-playable characters that can still get experience, but you don't control them directly as well. And then you can still be like, hey, go beat up this person that you have an advantage with over here, or whatever. So it seems like there's a lot more going on than I had expected with this
Mm.
game, and I'm pretty pleasantly surprised. Like it's a much deeper experience than the first Fire Emblem Warriors was, and definitely more of an analog to like Age of Calamity, to Hyrule Warriors is, just because of like the amount of gameplay stuff from um like the game is based off of Three Houses. is carried over into it. You still have like the support system. That's all in
Mhm.
there. You get support conversations with everyone. Like I said, you get to choose which house you go into, and the split is really early. So there's a huge amount of content that seems to be like unique missions and everything after this. Interestingly, it doesn't have like the kind of the time jump. Like there's a slight time jump. Like I don't remember how long it was in the first game. Like it was a pretty decent amount of time. Like when you come back, like everyone's like ragged and just like decrepit because they've just been suffering through this war for years and years. This one's a slightly less time jump. I think it's like 2 years. So you get there where things are just starting to boil over, and not everyone's gone like batshit crazy yet. So you still have all that stuff going on. You get to see like a little bit of the story as it progresses a bit earlier. I think it's super interesting. I actually think this is a pretty cool what if story because it lets you see a bit more of the story than what you saw in the other game with a bunch of stuff thrown in there. I really like it. I really dig it. The demo lets you, let's say, go up through. I think it's like the first mission after the story splits, and I think it's at least like 3 or 4 like actual story missions, and then it's got like some just kind of like quest missions or whatever, just like silly missions that you can go into just to get experience and items and things like that too. So it's got all that stuff in there. It's got like a tree for different like skills and stuff that you can get. I think
Okay.
it's even got like reclassing and everything too. Like you can reclass in everything just like you could in Three Houses. But it's like, hey, you don't want to be a mercenary anymore. You want to be a cavalier on a horse. Fucking do it. Go for it. Like it lets you reclass into everything. So it's pretty wild. Like everything it lets you do. Like I just trying to fathom like what that is in a Warriors game was a lot for me. Because you think about it, because like usually Warriors games have like I don't know like 10, 12 characters or whatever,
Mhm.
and they kind of have their own unique playsets. But this one they have like each house has like 10 characters, and then they can be reclassed into all these different playstyles. And you have the Brawlers, you have the Cavaliers, you have the Pegasus Knights, you have the I forget what they're called, the Wyvern Knights or whatever. You have the Brawlers, you have sword fighters, you have the lance users, you have the arrow people, you have the magic people, you have the healers. Like whatever you want to do, fucking do it. Like it's all there. It's crazy. The amount of depth that it seems like this game has. So at least so far from what I've seen, like very pleasantly surprised with how much the demo opened up, how much the demo lets you give, and your progress carries over into the full game. So if for some reason you haven't tried out the demo yet and you're curious what it is, try it out. There's a lot there, and like I said, it lets you try out each of the 3 different houses. So you can, if you theoretically, if you wanted to, you could start a playthrough with each of the 3 different houses, see which story you like best, and just kind of pick up there when the full game comes out, or whatever. Do them multiple at the same time, and that's too much to keep track of. It's way too much
Mm.
work. But yeah, no, it's I'm like very happy with what it is there. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's even got like they brought back the whole system from Fire Emblem Warriors where you could kind of like team up with like a character and have like switch them on the fly, like with you as like a teammate, and then you can do like co-attacks together. It's cool. If you like Muso games, definitely check it out. If you like Three Houses, I think there's even enough Three Houses stuff there that you might like this game too. So if you're not necessarily into like Muso, so I don't
Okay.
know. I like it. Did you have any questions about it, Brandon? I know you probably would have the most, if anything.
No, I don't have anything yet, but I will be checking in on this one in the future.
Yeah, download the demo.
Okay.
Just
Like
get the
you got
demo.
nothing to lose. Check it out.
Just have
You like
some
Muso
like
games?
some bandwidth, but fuck it.
Yeah,
Fuck
you
it.
got you got tons of bandwidth.
You got
I do
all
think
the bandwidth.
I do think it runs better than Age of Calamity. Like I did not notice a lot of that. I think it's because of the backgrounds. Like it doesn't have the crazy grass shit going on, so I think it runs a lot smoother too. Like I don't remember seeing like the dips and stuff like they had an issue with in that game. Um, yeah, I would say check it out. So there's that. What else have I been playing? Mario Maker 2. I don't know why I got back into this. I remember talking about it with Nick a couple weeks ago on the episode you weren't here. I
Yeah.
think it's I kept on seeing streamers play like random levels, like they kept on popping up on my YouTube. And I'm like, oh, that level looks pretty rad. Let me see what's there. So I've been playing a bit more, and I was like, oh, let me like remake. I actually like rebuilt my level for Mario Maker 1 in this game, and then I built like I think 2 more. just to be like, oh, I want to play around with the new tools and see what's there and everything. A couple things that I learned. People who play levels are fucking dumb because you can see where they die. Like, be like, oh, where did they die? Like, they die in places that you like would never expect people to die. They're like, oh, I think you're gonna die in this place. Nope, that's not where you die. You die some random place you shouldn't have died. Like, it's like you should have been just standing on a ledge not doing anything. You died. I don't know. But I also realized too, like, so I put up 3 levels, and of all my levels, after the first person finishes it, it seems like no one else wants to play it. Like they just skip it because you do get like a special like credit for beating levels like for the first time. But then after that, like I don't know, people just don't seem like they want to play it. Like, they don't even try it. Because they'll be like, oh, someone else played your level, and I'll be like, oh, where did they die? And they're like, there's no new deaths. They just skipped it. They're like, oh, okay, well, whatever. I think the level's cool. So you guys suck for not even trying it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. But there's a lot of neat stuff that they added there. I do think that the Mario 3D World, because you remember like the last update, they kind of added that stuff in. But it just is not as fully featured. Like it doesn't have a lot of different boss options. Like the other modes, you can change them over. Be like, oh, I want to change from Mario World to Mario 3. Like everything pretty much carries over. But that one doesn't. And like it doesn't have like a lot of the same enemies. It doesn't have a lot of the same like items and things. So it just kind of doesn't give you as many options to make levels, which is too bad. But they have that. So I don't know. It was fun to go back through and see it all again. I think Mario Maker is like a really creative game, and just going through and seeing some of the levels that people made from it, pretty wild. Like, there's a lot of troll bullshit out there too. Like I get that. But it's just neat. Some people have done like I know Nick and I were talking about like there's a lot of people who do the music levels. It seemed like a lot of different quiz levels. Those are pretty cool. Um, and then just some of the like the really thoughtful like platforming stages I think are really interesting. So it's really nice. I don't know how Nintendo can do another 2D Mario though at this point.
I don't either, honestly.
Yeah, like it's just kind of like anything that anyone could think of is there, unless you think of some wild new idea that can't be like replicated in this. I think you're gonna end up more with like the Mario 3D World kind of stuff, where it's that like 2.5D, and just let the fans kind of just keep making Mario makers. Be like, all right, go shove out some more levels, guys. Keep Mario busy. Um, so yeah, that's all I had Mario Maker wise. I think it was just cool to go back to, and it was just nice to see. Cause I don't think I ever really played it after the second update came out, and they did add a lot of stuff there. People are making their own worlds. There's one I even saw where this guy put in like one of those like bit URLs and typed it in like blocks, and then like you'd go like they watched it, and it took you to a YouTube video where it was like whole like basically like a animated introduction to the whole like storyline for this world. I was like, oh, that's pretty creative.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So let's say people are cool doing cool stuff. So yeah, Mario Maker 2, try it out. And then the only other thing I played was Resident Evil 4. The game we've been talking about a lot recently the last couple weeks. A, because I still think they're remaking it for no reason, but it was on sale on the Switch the other day for like $10, and I was like, fuck it. I'm like, we keep on talking about how great all these GameCube games are, and this is one of the greatest GameCube games. I don't own on my Switch, so I'm like, I'm gonna go through and play it. So the first thing I had to do was I had to change the control style because it's weird.
Hmm?
Initially, I don't know.
How so?
What system did you play it on, Brandon?
So, we're talking about.
Just
I
what
played it
system have
in
you played it on?
VR.
That's the only time you've ever played it?
No, I played it on GameCube. I played it on PS2. All that
Okay.
stuff.
I don't remember how the GameCube one handled the C stick. But like in this game, like the second stick is like it's a weird camera tilt. I don't remember what the C stick did in the GameCube thing. Maybe it did the same thing where like it
It's been
turns the
so long. I
camera.
have not played it in like years
No,
upon
me
years upon
either.
years.
I
So I
don't know.
literally, I don't know.
Yeah, the last time I played it was on the Wii. Like I played the Wii version, and obviously they had different
Oh
controls
yeah, the
for the
Wii version was
computer one.
excellent.
Yeah. So this one, the second stick, which like I said, may or may not have been what it did in the GameCube version, it just kind of used the camera around Leon. Like you don't use it to move like you do in a normal 3D adventure game, which I realized actually as I was playing this, that is the reason why people, well, not that specifically, but the controls specifically are why fans wanted a remake of this game. They think the controls are too dated, which I don't. I think they're fine. You just have to get used to them. Um, But yeah, just the whole because the C stick doesn't do or the second stick doesn't have anything to do with you moving. It's just turning the camera around you so you can see more of like the field. So that was interesting. But like so aim was also tied to it too, which it wasn't on GameCube, and I remembered that. And so I kept on getting confused because I would like try to turn the camera to like aim, but I was like turning the camera. So I had to like switch the aim back to the left stick because that's how it was in the GameCube version. Because it's the same way. Like you stop and then you aim, but like you would do it with the same stick you were moving on. So when I had it on the second stick, it was throwing me off because it wasn't for the camera. I don't know, but otherwise, I think the game's excellent. It still holds up really well. Um, the only thing that really feels dated to me, like actually feels dated to me, is like QuickTime events. I feel like it's been so long since I played a game with a QuickTime event that it's just kind of jarring because it's like you remember this game had them like all the time. You're just walking down a path and you're like, oh no, boulder! Better mash the Y button to run. Oh, better you gotta hit the left and right triggers to jump before it kills you. Okay, whatever, I guess. Um, so yeah, that stuff has been taking a little bit of getting used to. But like the game itself, it's so well balanced. Like I didn't even remember how well balanced it is. Like you always just have like the right amount of ammo for what you need. Like not too much, not too little. Like if you're gonna go around and kill everything, then you're gonna run out of ammo. If
Mm.
you use too much, you'll end up, or if you use too little, then you end up with too much, because your like briefcase will fill up, and you don't have like the storage system like they did in the original games, where you could like be like, oh, I'm gonna stick this in a crate and come back to it later. So it just has a nice balance to it. And I'm on chapter 4 now. If I remember, there was 5 chapters in this game. So I'm pretty well, like I'm in the castle now. I've done like a bunch of the things that I remember being like really shitty. Like the one room where there's just like a million of those like monk guys, bishop people, I don't religious cultists, I don't know what to call them. We're just coming out just basically in like waves. So there's that kind of stuff. But even like the sniping with the rifle feels really good. I don't know. I really enjoy this game. Like the writing just spot on. Like I think it just has like the right amount of like seriousness and humor. I think the game still looks really good. It runs really fucking smooth on the Switch, which it should because it's a 20-year-old game basically at this point, which is just wild to me. Like I really can't wrap my head around that. And yeah, no, it looks and works really well. I really don't have any major complaints about it. It's nice to be back in this game again and to play with Leon.
Hmm.
And yeah, just it's a
So,
great
what do you
little
think
one.
about the new one that's coming out?
We don't know anything about it. You know this. Like
Mhm.
Well, I
it's
mean, like, okay, all right, hold on. The fact that there is one coming out is my point.
I don't think it needs it. Like I said, when I was
I
looking,
don't think so either, honestly.
like when I was looking up stuff for it,
Hmm.
like that's when I realized. Like I looked up something on Reddit, and it wasn't
Hmm.
like what was it? It had something to do with Wesker. Like and it wasn't directly like I was looking up something related to Resident Evil, but it wasn't about this game specifically.
Hmm.
It's something someone came up where they were talking about Resident Evil 4, and they're like, oh, that's the reason why people don't like this game. It's because of the controls. Because I think because it doesn't control like a modern like third person shooter.
Hmm.
Like like because like I said, everything's controlled with the left stick pretty much. The right stick doesn't really do anything except turn the camera, which you don't really need.
Hmm.
And it still controls like Resident Evil 1 does, except it's a third person, so it actually works correctly.
Yeah.
So, like, I understand that aspect of it. I guess, like, why maybe some people want a remake. I still don't think it needs it. Like, I think the game works really well. If you had told me it was a 20-year-old game just based on the graphics, I still think that would be like, it looks really good despite its age. I guess is the angle that I'm trying to go at. Like, I feel like it still looks better than some games that come out today. Not necessarily like I'm not saying this is like top tier. Like this is not like in the same quality as like say like a AAA release. But
Hmm.
for like an average like indie game or something that came out, like I would say graphically it's on par with like the higher end stuff with there. I think it looks really nice. I don't think it really needs a remake. I think it's balanced incredibly well for what
Hmm.
it is, and I think trying to remake is only gonna fuck up what makes it work really well. So we will see because this game is really long. I think we talked about it last week. Like one of the big question marks was this is a really long third person game. So are they gonna remake it in its entirety? Are they gonna be like Resident Evil 3, where they're like, we don't feel like doing some of these parts, so we're just gonna take them out? I don't know. And I think that's really where you're gonna run into your most issues with this game. So it's gonna be a hard game to remake and make it as good as the original was. Because Resident Evil 4, listen, I still think it's a masterpiece. I still think it's one of the best games. Definitely one of the best games of the era to come out, and I still think it holds up incredibly well. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, is that about how you feel too?
Yeah, I think it holds up incredibly well and something that you could replay. And like I said, when I played it in VR recently, that was like an amazing experience. And as such, it's like it just shows that like the game is still just excellent. Like it was just made excellent to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like if they were gonna just go through and be like, we're just updating the graphics and maybe the controls. Like you know what, if you want to modernize the controls a little bit, sure. Uh, but I think that's all it needs. Like it does not need like, hey, let's go through and redo the script and redo every. Like no, no. You are just you're playing with fire. Like this game is just it's too good, and you're not whatever. I mean, I'll just put my bet out there right now. Whatever Resident Evil 4 remake ends up being, it will not be as good as the original. I just that is such a high bar. I don't think it's gonna hit it.
Okay.
I don't think it will. I don't. I just don't think. I think there's no way they don't fuck this up somewhere.
Probably.
Yeah. And the other thing with this too is it's not like this is a PlayStation 1 game, you know? Like you're dealing with something that was originally a GameCube game that, had some pretty like nice quality of life stuff to bring on a modern consoles. Like, here's the right aspect ratios, here's, more modern some tweaks to some of like the other UI stuff and everything. Like it doesn't really, the graphics are updated a little bit here and there. Like it really doesn't need anything.
Like I said, you can't get more modern than fucking VR. And playing in VR, I was just showed me how like
That's really
good the
true
game
too.
was.
And if it holds up well with that, I mean, I think that's
It
that's a
did.
pretty good testament. Yeah. Do they change it or is it still like third person?
No, it's first person,
Oh, really?
in VR. Yeah. So you're Leon in the game. You can like go through all the places in first person, and like you experience the game as he did. Even like doing the jumping out the window. The only thing that's different there is it does show in third person Leon jumping out the window, and then as he lands, it like fades back into you to make it so you don't get like the motion sickness and that sort of thing.
Oh, kind
Because
of like
like
what they do in Metroid when you're like going in and out of the ball.
yeah, essentially. And it works very, very well. And it's the same thing whenever you like have to fight off an enemy and you do like the press a button to like, do the like punch and that sort of thing, like the roundhouse kick. Clearly you're not going to do a roundhouse kick in VR. So, it does it for you with a prompt, but everything else like the picking up weapons, the finding like puzzles and moving blocks and stuff around, all of that's in first person done by you the player.
Oh, the more you describe it, this seems like an absolutely brilliant game for VR.
It is. It's great.
Yeah, that is really good. Do they still keep the QTE scene, like stuff in there too, or do they
Um
like?
Yes and no.
Mhm.
Um, some of the more egregious QTE events are like just things you actually exist through now because it's
Okay.
just easier that way.
Mhm.
And then like even like I think it's like, oh god, I can't remember like an exact thing, but like I know there were examples. I can't give you one right offhand, but I know when I was playing it, I was like, oh okay, so I don't have to do the button mashing for this. It wants me to actually do it and like do it, but it was mostly like anything that involves like your hands more so
Yeah,
than
like I could think like things I would think of like off the top of my head was, um, like would be like when you're on top of the El Gigante maybe, where it has you like button mash like to stab him or something.
I think that wasn't one. I think that was one where you actually had to do it. I can't recall. Again, this was a year ago now almost,
Yeah.
so it's been a little while. I actually need to play that again. That was so
Did
much
you
fun.
finish
And
it?
yeah, and they just released Mercenaries in VR
Really?
on it as well. And now I really want to go back and play it. I haven't played VR in a very long time because when everything went down and I had to, you know what? I'll just say for personal reasons. I haven't played VR in a very long time, but I'd really like to do it again.
The other thing I would be interested to know if they changed anything would be like the Krauser fight.
I don't remember. One of the main things in VR, and this is going to sound like really petty, but one of the main things I remember actually being changed in VR was they removed the upskirt thing completely.
Oh. I actually like I triggered that on accident, like that whole comment with
Yeah.
Ashley when I was playing this. I'm like, I'm not even close to your skirt, and she's like, "Here, Leon," or whatever she says. And
hmm
I'm like, you just fell in front of me, like it's not like I was trying to do anything, you dumb bitch. But yeah, no, it's an excellent game, and I think that's good. The Krauser battle, I don't know if you remember, that was the one that was the QTE, like the entire battle was QTEs, like that knife fight.
Oh yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember that one.
Yeah,
That may have
I'm
been
pretty sure.
changed because
I would
I
think
know
they
what you're
would,
talking
because
about now.
I don't think that would translate very well to VR, but who knows? Maybe they found a way to do it. Yeah, no, but like I said, it's an excellent game, and I hope whatever they do with the remake is as good. But like I said, they gave themselves a high bar, and I think they're gonna have a hard time doing it. They should have spent the remake time on Code Veronica. That's a game that needs a remake, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Another thing that I missed, speaking of like, this is the opposite,
hmm
basically. I did not notice or realize or hear, and maybe it wasn't even in it, with like the Capcom event where they're actually making so you can play Resident Evil 8 Village in a third person mode now too, as part of the DLC.
Oh. Oh, yeah. So, the I remember this because this is something I was super excited about. Resident Evil Village will have in its new season pass or in the gold edition, whatever. The entire first game will be like the normal game, like the base game, will be replayable in third person, and
Yeah.
then the new DLC is only in third person.
Oh, that I didn't know.
Yeah.
hmm Which I think is interesting, and in that aspect too, it makes you wonder what they'll do with cutscenes. Like, are they gonna like switch in a first person for the cutscene and then switch it back?
I think the entire thing is done like Resident Evil 2, from what I've seen of the DLC.
Okay. No. It's still like going through this game makes me be like, I never finished 7, not for any good reason. Like I like 7 when
Hmm.
when I played of it, I never finished it.
Seven's a long game. Like it's like 10 to 12 hours long.
Yeah,
Yeah, you could speed run it, but like it's a pretty long game.
well, I remember I put a decent amount of time into it. I remember even thinking too, like especially compared to like what came before it, which was like
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is like a really nice return to the atmosphere of Resident
hmm
Evil. Like this is actually like legitimately a scary game.
Are you
Again,
gonna play Village also?
probably eventually.
So Village is a direct sequel to 7.
Yeah, no, I know. I remember we talked about it at the game of the year. This story
Yeah.
is forever scarred in my mind now. So like I know that that is coming.
Yeah.
The plot twist there, unfortunately.
I'm
But
sorry.
it's not. I mean, it's Resident Evil though. It's not like it really deters. Like the stuff in Resident Evil is so wild
Yeah.
most of the time, anyways. Like if Resident Evil 9 rolls around and they're like Wesker's back, I don't even think I would blink an eye.
I
Like,
wouldn't. I'd
oh,
just be like, all
surprise.
right, cool. I guess that's a thing that happened.
Yeah, and I think that the foundation that they gave in Resident Evil 8 gives you a great method for doing that if that was something they want to do. I don't think they should. I think Wesker should stay dead, but I would not be surprised if they're like, "Oh, we brought him back." So, and apparently, because I think this is actually what brought me to the Resident Evil Reddit, because apparently Wesker is coming back in like the Netflix thing. I don't even know if the Netflix thing is out yet, like that Resident Evil TV show they're doing. And they're like, Wesker's back, and we'll show you how it happened. And it's like, oh, okay, oh, how much you did. So I don't know when is that coming out? Resident
The new
Evil
Resident Evil,
Like soonish.
March 24th.
I thought it was soonish.
Wait,
March,
which one? Which Resident Evil?
The show.
the TV show.
Oh, that's like next month, I think. Sorry,
Oh yeah,
my
very
bad.
soon.
I
Netflix
thought
has
we
the
were
trailer.
literally still talking about the Resident Evil 4. My bad. My brain kind of shut off
Oh
for a
yeah,
second there.
yeah. No, it's okay. Yeah, no. So they just released the trailer for it, or like earlier this month, or like the end of the last month.
Isn't it
So
in July?
I'm guessing so. If
Okay.
they're doing it this soon, but they're like Wesker's back, and we'll tell you how. It's July 14th. So for those that were wondering, so I don't know. I might watch it. I've always liked Resident Evil, like a lot, a
Like
lot.
the movies or just the series in general?
Just the series in general. The movies are they're the first couple. Well, let's see. The first one was okay, like just okay. That's kind of where to
Hmm.
put it. The second movie I actually really liked,
I like
and
the second movie.
then they just
Yeah.
all went down the shitter from there. Just like
Hmm.
a very street like three was definitely worse than the first one, and then there's three more after that. And I'm like, I don't even know how the fuck you guys managed to squeeze out this many movies. Like, I don't even know. It doesn't make any sense. I have no fucking clue what's going on. I don't even know if I watched the fifth one. I think I'm not wrong, right? There was six.
I think there's 7.
Let's see, Resident Evil movies. One, two. There's at least six right there. Let's see, but I could. That's all that Google can show me on the front page. So, oh, you're right, 7, 7 movies. So, yeah, no, that's at least one movie too many. So, yeah,
Yeah, Welcome to Raccoon City was a fucking reboot that released last year that no one watched.
yeah, did not need a
It
reboot.
doesn't even have the original people in it. Like, none of them.
That's probably a good thing, but it still didn't need it.
Uh-huh.
Because Mila Djokovic, she's fine to a degree, but then it's just like there's a point where it's too much. What was the other movie that she was in that literally was like a Resident Evil clone?
Underworld?
No, it was another game movie.
Was she in Underworld? Am I thinking of the wrong person? I think
I
she's in
don't know. She
Underworld.
might have been in Underworld. Um, let's see. What was it?
No, that was Kate Beckinsale. That was Kate Beckinsale. I was getting
Oh,
confused. My bad. Sorry.
Monster Hunter. That's what it was.
Monster Hunter. Yeah, it
Which
was just Resident
if
Evil,
I had
but
not seen the name, I would have thought it was a Resident Evil movie. Literally looks exactly like it. And it's also her husband's directing it too, Paul W.S. Anderson. So, I mean, that's also probably why it looks exactly like the other movies he directed. So, yeah, no. That movie was a mistake. I don't know why Capcom's like, hey, make more movies for us. I hope they, what, license Mega Man to them. I really want to see Mila Djokovic be Mega Man. Please.
Oh my god.
Please.
No.
Let's just oh my, I love this idea. I'm sold. I will go, I will give you $8 to watch this in theater. Mila Djokovic is Mega Man. That's great. I don't know. We're just talking random shit now. I don't know if you have any
we
more
are.
Resident Evil stuff to talk about. Going once? Going twice?
And no. Moving on
Okay.
from that. Let's move on from that.
All right. I think the other thing we were going to talk about is just a little bit of news. You want to talk about the rumored Sony
Oh yeah. So there's a
TVs, and
PlayStation
Yeah, it's the thing we
TV.
gotta talk about.
Yeah.
It sounds stupid.
Yeah. Okay.
Brandon's like, I could defend these.
I actually can. I actually can.
But you
and
can't.
I can. I'm gonna take a moment to do so. All right. And this is purely going off of speculation from the past. All right.
Okay.
The PlayStation 3 TV that they made way back when, we're gonna completely remove the 3D aspect from it. We're just gonna have it as an actual monitor.
Okay.
Was one of the best monitors for the PlayStation 3, and it ended up selling for a pretty low price because no one bought it originally. So, my only defense for this PlayStation 5 monitor
it will fail and become cheap.
It will fail and become a really good monitor, but also the fact of the matter is it seems like when Sony releases something that's a specific peripheral to go alongside their mainline gaming series, like console series, they try to go and make a quality product. And as such, I think having a quality product that is tested and from the source to go alongside your actual console, on top of it probably going down in price very quickly and being like solid all around, is a good thing. That's it. That's my defense.
So you're just banking on it to fail.
Not necessarily for it to fail, and even if it doesn't necessarily fail, I am saying that the PlayStation 3D display that was made for the PlayStation 3 was at the time both one of the best 3D displays and also one of the best like monitors for that, and it was built specifically for the PlayStation 3 at the time, and it was a quality product. I'm saying if trends repeat with this new monitor for the PlayStation 5, you could be looking at the best monitor that you could get for the PlayStation 5. Because it's in-house created and it's designed specifically for the PlayStation 5, not for your computer, not for blah blah blah, such and such, so on and so forth. That's what I'm saying.
With that is they already have a screen that is built in-house, ready to work with the PS5, and that is their specific series of Bravia TVs.
I'm talking about a monitor, like a small form factor thing, like the monitor I have sitting next to me right now. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like a TV.
So that's fair, but what you gotta understand is you are a small representation of people who do that. I'd be willing to bet that next to nobody uses a computer monitor to play their PS5. And if they do, whatever monitor they currently have probably performs just as good, if not maybe a little bit better than the in-house made stuff from the Bravia line of TVs.
Okay. I will give you that, but I will also say when it comes to things such as variable refresh rate and whatnot, with that being a newer technology that's already been implemented into the, already set up for the monitors and ready to go, and isn't necessarily the same dealio and working correctly with the PlayStation 5 with its VRR that it just introduced and whatnot. I would say that those monitors that are designed specifically for PC and whatnot, that are much nicer monitors all around, don't have the same compatibility as one that would be designed specifically for the system in question.
Mm-hmm.
That was my main takeaway from this. It's all about compatibility and how well it's going to synergize with each other, more so. So if you're looking for just a monitor for your PlayStation 5 that has HDR, 4K, whatever, that sort of stuff, and will probably is the key word, have a really good synergy, work off this thing very well together and not have any compatibility issues like you will run into with other monitors that are not designed for it. I have ran into it myself with both my ultra wide monitor and my 1080p monitor. I've run into many issues, be it sync issues with VRR or HDR calibration being completely off with the console itself. I think having one that is just specifically made for the system and designed from the ground up, I think it'll have the output already ready to go, just plug and play, that sort of deal, and it will be a conveniency sort of deal. And you are right with saying I'm a very niche person for monitors, and to an extent I do agree with you, and I don't get heavily into competitive gaming first-person shooters on console, which there's a competitive scene and it's really fucking weird to me. But and I'm going to use this as an example. Call of Duty, all right? I know I'm already shooting myself in the foot by using this as an example, but I mean, Call of Duty is a very well-known franchise. A lot of people fucking play it. It still has a competitive scene that is massive, especially when it comes to Warzone and other such things on consoles, because on PC it's just a hacking shit fest and it's not worth playing. And as such, the console scene for that game is much better. Now, do I care about the game? No. Does it have a very big scene? Yes. And as such, when it comes to that aspect of gaming, a nice 120 hertz monitor at 4K that's designed for the system that you're playing that game on specifically, or any game of that console on specifically, will probably do better than one you just randomly found already, which quite a few people do use if they have, and because you can look at people's setups online on Reddit and this, that, and the other, and people will go out and buy a small 4K monitor because it's cheaper than a TV and it fits better in place with their surroundings and their setup because they're already at a computer, so they just get a secondary monitor that's 4K and then they hook it up to the PS5 or their Xbox Series X or what have you. And those people aren't the main demographic, but I would kind of argue that the people that currently own an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5 is that main demographic of people that want that conveniency that want the like I want to have like a monitor sitting on my side, I want to have this, that, and the other set up, I want to have, you know, all this stuff, because the general public didn't get to fucking buy one, and it's still kind of been a problem. So whereas your normal person that would just hook it up to a TV and is like, yeah, that's whatever, I don't need 120 hertz now, I don't give a shit about HDR, blah 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 blah, you know, those people weren't the ones that pre-ordered this thing, these systems when they came out. They weren't the ones that jumped ship and bought them right away. A lot of them weren't. A lot of these people are like tech people, or people that just like seeing like new technology and how it works out. And those kind of people are going to fiddle with this stuff, and they're going to want to test it on monitors and this, that, and the other, and see what works best for them. That's my opinion on the entire thing. Because I can't tell you how many like normal, just like gamers, just in general, that I've seen been like, yeah, if you can ever buy one, and I'm just sitting here and I'm like, all right, well, I also am a gamer. Nick is also a gamer. This, that, and the other. But we're much more like focused, not just out a game and put it down on
probably,
my TV and this, that, and the other.
If this is a dedicated monitor for the PS5, I probably won't buy it.
I will only buy it if I could also use it as a secondary monitor with my computer, and if the price is right. Because if I can get like a 120 4K monitor and the price is like not as much as a PS5, then that sounds like a pretty good deal to me. Because those 4K monitors are very expensive, and they're only 60 hertz, most of them.
Yeah.
So if Sony comes out swinging and is like, here's an HDR 4K 120 hertz for like $499, I'd be like, damn, that's real good. That's my opinion on the entire thing.
That's fair.
Because you see like $700-800 monitors, and they have those weird like flaps on them. I don't know who the fuck makes. I'm guessing BenQ. I think that's who it is.
Yeah.
BenQ makes the like super high end, but they also have like those. You know what I'm talking about with the like flaps on the side.
Yeah.
Like it's like to make it so light doesn't come in, or that sort of deal. Yeah, those are weird monitors. Oh yeah. Yeah, those are weird monitors, but also like esports monitors. There we go. Yeah. But like they're the only ones that have like 4K HDR 120 hertz. Everything else is like 60 hertz. And if Sony were to be like, "Yo, this is that," I'd be like, "Oh shit, what's what you doing, Sony?"
Yeah.
And since they advertise those specific elements of the like their monitors just in general, I don't see why they wouldn't want to shoot for something like that. But I mean, we'll see. That's my only defense. That's the only defense I can have in this this context, I guess. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what they end up doing. They're supposed to have like, I think, 3 different monitors that they're showing off. So
yeah, I want to see what they look like.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think whatever we'll get will at least be novel. So, you know, maybe it will be very expensive niche TV, but then, you know, maybe we'll boil back to something more for the general public.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. If rumors are to be true, next week we should know. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. It's not something I would buy. I just like to see.
Oh yeah. Okay, so like looking more into this, it says the panels are being pitched as perfect for PS5 with 4K and 1080p variations. Looks like the 1080p variation will be the 120, which that's not interesting to me unless it's like also got the nice HDR and this, that, and the other. But the 4K one, if that's decent, a decent price, that might be good. So we'll see where that goes. Because I'm not seeing much other, but obviously this is just like rumors and speculation right now.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh, sorry.
I was just see if you had anything else to talk about before we wrapped up. That's right. Yeah.
It says 4K 144 hertz. That's insane. That's not a thing. That's just gotta be fake rumor bullshit. Because then it says the 1080p one's 240. That's not a thing. With G-Sync in 1 millisecond? No. And HDR. Using HDR 400. I'm gonna have to see how this pans out. Because depending on the price, I'm gonna say right now, 4K 144 hertz is unfucking heard of. And that's insane. if they actually did pull it off. Hell,
Yeah.
these monitors will probably have fucking PC gamers buying them if these are real.
Possibly.
There you go.
I mean, the last PlayStation 3 TV was not. People who were buying it were not necessarily PlayStation 3 people either.
Yeah, people want to watch 3D TV.
Well, the 3D TV or the other feature that I don't think you actually mentioned, which a lot of people kind of liked, was the fact that you could watch two different things on it at the same time.
That's true. I have that on my monitor right now.
So, which is a pretty neat idea. So, anyways, anything else you guys want?
I think all right.
Yeah, I'm good.
No, I think the only, and this is just like a slip in there, but we'll probably talk about it next week. Pokemon Snap is coming out in the N64 thing this week.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Oh.
Yeah, surprise. So, and that at that point, that's all the N64 games they've promised will be out with that one at this point. So, I guess more credence for Nintendo Direct coming soon, so they can announce whatever the next wave will be. But Pokemon Snap, the N64 one's great, so I am kind of excited to try that again. So, but next week we'd probably be able to talk about it. And anyways, that said, thank you for everyone for listening to us tonight. Don't forget you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. You can find our website, game-crunch.com. Or if you want to reach out to us on Facebook, Twitter, you can send us an email, gamecrunchcast@gmail.com. Brandon,
Yes.
any final thoughts?
No, I'm good.
All right. Nick?
No.
Okay. Well, with that said, my name is Mike Anastasia. You can find me online, Clash Penguin on Twitter or your favorite gaming console. And until next week, game on.
Game on. Dude, my favorite interaction with a tech was this guy that came out here. He's like, "Listen, man, your cable's fried up there. I don't know what the fuck happened, but man, that shit's destroyed." I was like, "Oh shit, can we fix that?" He's like, "Yeah, dude, I got it. You." I'm just like, this guy sounds like he's high as fuck, but I'm totally down for it. That man fixed my internet, and it was like the best internet I had for like a year and a half. It was crazy. But that guy was just so chill. Like, he's like, "I'm gonna have to check the wiring," and then he comes down from my attic. He's like, "Man, that shit's fried as fuck." I'm just like, "Oh fuck, dude."